If you are someone like me, you would die to get a distinction. But this got me thinking, are distinctions actually important? Do they even matter? Does it have any value even? I am Rohith a third year medical student in Madurai Medical College. When you score above 75% in both theory and practicals combined, we call it a distinction. During my first year, I wanted distinction so badly, no doubt. So I wanted to get distinction. I wanted to prove everyone that I am someone who actually studies. Because when you enter medical college, the whole 250 of the students are very studious. Throughout your entire childhood, the only title badge, the only name badge that I specifically had in my name tag is he studies well. That's it. That's like the only name tag that I had. I won't participate in sports also. I wouldn't do anything else. Just studies, just book. That's it. Once you get into medical college, everyone is studious. That's like the baseline. And some people are like extra talented. They'll play football also. Some people play badminton. Some will play table tennis, some can edit videos well. So they had these extra things. But in my case, I had nothing. So I had to prove that, okay, at least I'm something better. I'm not just someone who studies. I'm someone who studies really well. So I wanted to show that. So I was like, okay, alright. I want to get 3 distinctions in first year, no doubt. That should be my goal. So that was my goal. Even though I say that I wanted distinction throughout my first year, it's not like I was studying for distinction throughout my first year. My main goal in first year was to tighten my concepts. Thanks to my mom and dad, they used to constantly tell me that marks don't matter. So they used to tell me this, and they used to tell me that concepts are everything, because once you become a doctor, all these marks won't matter at all. So from the start, I had this concept in my mind that marks don't really matter, but I'm gonna try to get a distinction. So that was my view. And then I got 2 distinctions in first year, that is in anatomy and biochemistry. I actually expected 3 distinctions, but I missed distinction in physiology by some 8 marks something. So I was happy with that. And then second year came. So second year also I studied really well. The results have not come yet, but I'm just saying. So second year also I studied well and I wrote the exams pretty decently. I'm not sure about the results though. Definitely I'll be passing the exams, but I'm not sure about if I'll get something like those stuffs. My mom used to say this one thing. She's a Siddha doctor. And during her childhood, her father, that is my grandfather, would used to say again and again that even if you get 100 out of 100 in your exam, you are still a doctor. Even if you get 50 out of 100, you are still a doctor. So have some fun also. Don't study. There's no point in getting 100. Anyways, you're a doctor. So study for knowledge. If your marks should be like a byproduct of your knowledge, your marks should be a byproduct of your conceptual understanding. It's not like you're focusing for the marks. You should just pass the exam. If you get 50 out of 100 also, you're a doctor. If you get 100 out of 100 also, you're a doctor. So don't worry about that. That's what my grandpa used to tell my mom. And my dad also used to tell me throughout first year that marks in the future, a patient won't find the doctor who got a distinction and come to the doctor specifically. They won't come like that, right? The patients will go to the doctor who is talking in a very friendly way, who treats patients well, who takes care of the patients well. That's the doctor who people will go to. If I get super distinctions, honors, excellence, everything in all subjects, but then I'm very arrogant and I'm very rude to the patients, and obviously no one will come to me, right? I have talked with quite a few doctors. They never seem to care about distinction. I'll be dying to say to them that I got 2 distinctions in anatomy and physiology. They will never, in anatomy and biochemistry, but then they never ask me about distinction. I didn't get they didn't even ask what are your scores in your exam. They never asked anything. Oh, you have studied MBBS, Sabha, very good, pa. You know this, Sabha. That's all they asked. They didn't ask about the marks at all. So slowly I have started to realize that distinctions actually don't matter. But let me conclude this in a very proper way.
Let me put it in a language you can understand.
Distinctions don't matter. It means nothing. But however, the aim of getting a distinction is a very good goal. Because it basically tells that you have to study well, you have to be more knowledgeable. So that's a good goal. I have to study well. That's a good goal, right? So getting the aim of getting a distinction is actually really good. That's really good. But then it should not be at the cost of conceptual understanding. You should not go and jump straight into some random review books, because there are some random review books. You can just study them, get distinction in theory exams. That's it. But concept is what all that matters, right? For instance, for pathology, there are multiple review books. If you study those books, definitely you will get distinction honor, no doubt in that. But only if you read pathology in Robbins, you will have this amazing conceptual understanding. As long as you have a good conceptual understanding, you're doing a great job as a medical student. So So this is what I am concluding. So distinction doesn't really matter, but it's a good goal, it's a good aim to have. So in my first year, I was like, okay, distinction is all that matters, I want to get a distinction. As I entered third year, I realized this thing that distinctions don't really matter, but it's a good goal to have. And for people who actually want a distinction, in this video I talked about how to get a distinction in anatomy, and I also made a video about how to get a distinction in biochemistry. So make sure to check it out. And as always, thank you for watching. See you soon.